If you're a real estate investor or wholesaler and you've been thinking about Facebook ads for motivated sellers, but you've been holding back because of things you have heard, such as these leads are crap, why waste your time on Facebook ads? Or maybe you've heard, I need a big budget, so I gotta make cold calls every day until I save enough money in order for me to do online lead generation. Well, I'm here to tell you that those are lies. And in this video, I'm gonna dispel these myths that are preventing you from doing deals and to get leads in the most amazing platform you can today when it comes to real estate wholesaling and real estate investing. In fact, every single deal that I've closed in the last 6 months have all been from Facebook ads. So in this video, I'm gonna go ahead and share with you exactly what it's gonna take, so then that way you can then make that decision if this is for you or not. My name is Cris Chico. I'm considered the godfather of virtual wholesaling and also a pioneer when it comes to Facebook ads, TikTok ads, and Google ads for motivated sellers. We do deals nationwide, 100% virtually, and I want to do everything I can that if you're cold calling, I want to help you escape the cold calling penitentiary. Well, let's get right into it, shall we? The first myth that you may have heard is that the leads are crap. Now, is it possible that the leads are not crap, and in fact is that you don't know how to talk to sellers and actually get a deal done? Look, I can get you the most amazing lead in the world. I can get you a seller that is just ready. They are just ready to lay it down for you and say, come on, baby, just come and take it from me, please. And you could fumble that ball because at the end of the day, if you don't know how to communicate properly with people, if you don't know how to take that conversation from beginning to end and not fumble the ball, you're not going to make any money. And certainly it doesn't matter what kind of lead you have, then it's not going to work out. Look, these are not tire kickers. They're ones that are filling out the forms. They saw our ad that said, we are looking to buy properties that need work and fixing up, that are problem properties, and we're willing to take these properties off your hands. They saw that ad. They clicked on that. They filled out a form asking them a gazillion questions about all kinds of stuff. I don't know about you, but unless they are crazy, batshit crazy, why would they fill out all that information? They are motivated. They genuinely want an offer. And so they are a good lead. These are the same leads that went on Google, search, sell my house fast. They go ahead and fill out a bunch of forms. They then close their computer, and guess what they do? They go on their phone, and now they start fiddling around on social media, and that's where you get them. So it's like you went to the mall for that Giorgio Armani shirt and you didn't buy it, and then you went to the outlet and you saw the same shirt, but now it's 25% of the retail value. I'd rather get the shirt that's 25% of the retail value than pay full price. That's what you're doing here with social media ads. These are the same people that are on Google. If you're watching this video and you're saying to yourself, Chico, I have heard enough, you're right, they're lying to me, and now I'm ready for Facebook ads for motivated sellers, just click the link in the description and I'll show you how our team can do everything for you, set it all up, get it up and running, and that way you can get the machine up and running and start generating motivated sellers. Let's talk about myth number 2, and that is that you have to wait weeks for the campaigns and the account to optimize before you start to see lead flow. If you ever hear that, I want you to stop whatever you're doing and you run. You don't look back, you just keep on going, because whoever's telling you that, they have no idea what they're doing. If you set up the campaign correctly, the right account structure, the right campaign structure, the right creatives, and the budget, and the geography, and if you put that together the right way, you should be able to see leads coming in the door within the first day or at the most 48 hours. If somebody tells you otherwise, then it just means that they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. And most importantly, unlike Google, where you have to wait until somebody actually does a search before your ad gets shown, all those people are already on Facebook. They're watching their cat videos, they're watching whatever, and then all of a sudden they see your ad and they say, you know what? I got to get rid of this big piece of crap property that I have that's making my life a living hell. And now they fill out the form, and guess what? Now you have the lead. But bottom line is that if somebody tells you they need a few weeks to get results, sayonara, baby. Myth number 3 that I hear all the time is that you need to put together a website and a landing page and spend all this money to have a chance of collecting leads. And that's because if you're using lead forms on Facebook, you're going to get crappy leads. And you need a landing page because you need this fancy quiz funnel, and they got this crazy, sophisticated system to make sure that these leads you're getting are completely motivated and just like PPC leads. And that is so far from the truth. You don't need any of that. And I've had clients that have been running landing pages and have come back and said, I see no difference with the lead quality with the lead form. And keep in mind this. Facebook doesn't want that person to leave Facebook. They want them to be scrolling along on their phone, and next thing you know, they see your ad, they click on the button, they submit their information, and then you know what Facebook wants them to do next? They want that person to stay on Facebook and to continue to scroll so that they can show more ads, because the more ads they show, the more money that Facebook makes. Facebook doesn't want them leaving the platform. So when you have a landing page campaign, you're actually doing something that Facebook doesn't want, and you're taking them away from the platform. And with the lead forms, not only are you going to be spending less money per lead, but you're also going to avoid all the technical headaches and everything required in order to build a landing page that actually converts. Because you can build a landing page and a website, but making that landing page convert is a different story. So when you're running ads on Facebook, forget about landing pages. Lead forms is where it's at. The next myth that I hear all the time is that the Facebook leads are lower quality than PPC. Here's the thing. PPC is going to be a higher lead quality. So there's an asterisk to this. There's a little bit of truth, but it's overblown. Because in PPC, people are right now sitting on their desk thinking, I got to get rid of this problem property. With Facebook, they're just scrolling on the feed. They're thinking about selling their property. And then now they see your ad. And all of a sudden they decide, you know what? I think I do want to sell this property. So you could argue that the motivation is slightly less than PPC. But with PPC, you're spending $150, $200 per lead. With Facebook, your cost per lead is $10. So it's okay for the PPC leads. So it's okay for the Facebook leads just not to be as motivated. But again, keep in mind with what I said before, these people are filling out a form with a ton of questions. So there is intent there that they would want an offer on their property. Now, here's the thing. Because of the nature of the interruption-driven platform, you're going to have to follow up with the Facebook leads a little bit harder, a little bit more aggressively than you would with the PPC leads. Why? For all you know, they could have been sitting on the toilet as they saw the ad, filled out the form, and then when you call them, their hands are busy. They got one hand wiping you know what, the other one grabbing the toilet paper, and you call, they're not going to answer the call. They could have been taking an intermission when they were having a good time with their spouse or significant other. And now when you call them, that intermission is over and now they're back on whatever they were doing. So you got to be aggressive in calling them multiple times over the first 24 to 48 hours and even 72 hours to get a hold of these people. But it doesn't mean that they're less motivated. And again, the same lead that you paid $150 for on PPC, you're getting at a discount with Facebook. They don't have to be exactly the same motivation. The final myth that I hear all the time in some of these videos that people are publishing on YouTube is that you need at least $100 a day to spend on Facebook. Otherwise, it's just not possible to make that platform work. Why? Because you need enough budget to feed the algorithm to then over a week or 2 weeks get enough data to make the campaigns perform. Again, if they tell you that, they don't know what they're doing. We routinely start campaigns off at $15 a day, sometimes $10 a day. And within the first day, first 24 hours, we're getting leads. And I would argue that if you can't make these work with a small budget, you ain't gonna make them work with a big budget. Now, I do have to put an asterisk around this in that if you do have a small budget, then your targeting should be wider. Many times when we have a client that may have a $10 or $15, $20 budget per day, then we tell them you've got to run ads wider, nationwide, or the top 15 states. If you're going to be targeting a small geographic area, a certain number of counties or a certain number of cities only because you're looking to get deals in a particular area, then you're going to have to use a bigger budget. And that's normal, $50, $75 a day. But it just depends on your situation and circumstances. So what I'm saying is that from an absolute perspective, you don't need a large budget. If you have a small budget, you can make it work, but you need to make some adjustments in terms of your geography to make it viable so you get enough leads in the door so you can have an opportunity to do some deals. What I want you to do next is watch this other video here that talks about the 7 rules for success with Facebook ads for motivated sellers, so that way you can have a chance of getting out of the cold calling penitentiary.